I have finished knitting up until April the 6th. So this is what the blanket's looking like so far. As you can see, the temperatures are trying to get warmer, but we do have a little bit of the cooler temperatures still sticking around. This is a East Coast. I'm using East Coast temperatures, and this is what it's looking like so far. Now I'm going to continue on in April. So we're going to do April 7th, and I'm going to continue knitting for April to try to get caught up. It is now April 21st. But I mean, this is a project you can do whenever you feel like it. It's not like it has to be done. So it's just a nice little project to keep doing throughout the year when you feel up to it. But let's get started on knitting for some more April, and we will go from there to see what the temperature is going to be like. So continue watching to see what the temperatures are going to be like as I start knitting some more for April. All right. Happy knitting, everyone, and enjoy the temperature blanket colors as they form. Happy knitting. I'm on April 7th, and the temperature is 62 Fahrenheit. I'm going to be using Varsity Yellow. I have Varsity Yellow. I'm just going to add on for April the 7th, 62 Fahrenheit, Varsity Yellow. And I'm going to continue knitting row 1 all the way across. So knit all the way across. Let's go ahead and continue knitting all the way across. Varsity Yellow. Go from green to yellow. I had to use the bigger table also because I am getting a lot of rows knitted up. We're filling up the table. I am finishing up row 1, Varsity Yellow, April 7th, 62 Fahrenheit. And now I'm going to go ahead and start on row 2, April 7th. Just continue knitting all the way across. Knit all the way to the end. All right, let's just continue knitting row 2, Varsity Yellow. Knitting all the way to the end. I'm just finishing up row 2, April 7th, 62 Fahrenheit. We're using Varsity Yellow, garter knit stitch, and now I'm ready to start my new day. So we are on April the 8th, and it's 69 Fahrenheit. So the color I am going to use is mustard. So I'm going to go ahead and add on mustard. April 8th, 69 Fahrenheit. Adding on mustard. Row 1, and I'm just going to knit all the way across. Knit all the way across. Tying a knot, and then when I come back, I'll tie it again to secure it. All right, just going to continue knitting all the way across. I'm just finishing row 1, April 8th, 69 Fahrenheit. I'm using mustard, and I'm just going to finish knitting row 1. And now I'm going to continue knitting April 8th, Just continue knitting on for row 2 using the mustard, 69 Fahrenheit, knitting all the way across with my mustard yarn. April 8th, 69 Fahrenheit. I'm using mustard for the yarn color. I'm just finishing up row 2, just knitting to the end. And I'm going to tie this a second time, secure my knot. And now I'm ready to start my new day. I am on April the 9th, 75 Fahrenheit. I'm going to cut off the mustard. And I'm going to add varsity orange. So for row 1, I'm just adding varsity orange, April the 9th, 75 Fahrenheit. Okay. I'm going to knit row 1 all the way across. So just knit it all the way across. I'm going to go ahead and tie my ends once. And then when I come back, I will tie my knot. April 9th, we switch to a varsity orange. The temperature does want to stay up there, so let's see if it continues. Let's see if we're going to use some new yarn colors to add into the mix of the temperatures. 75 Fahrenheit. Let's go. Continue knitting all the way across. April 9th, 75 Fahrenheit. I'm just finishing up row 1. I'm using varsity orange. Just knitting all the way to the end. And now I'm going to continue knitting row 2 all the way across. Just knit all the way across. All right, I'm just finishing up row 2, April 9th, 75 Fahrenheit, varsity orange, just knitting all the way to the end. Garter stitch. And now I'm ready to start my new day. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and knot this a second time so I can secure it. Okay. I am on April the 10th, and the temperature is also 75 Fahrenheit. So I'm just going to go ahead and use varsity orange, continue knitting all the way across for row 1. So just knit all the way across. April 10th, 75 Fahrenheit, varsity orange. I'm just knitting to the end of row 2. Garter knit stitch. Knitting all the way to the end, my garter knit stitch. And now I'm ready to start my new day. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the varsity orange. April the 11th, 66 Fahrenheit. I am going to use varsity gold. So let me go ahead and add on varsity gold. April the 11th, 66 Fahrenheit. I'm adding on varsity gold. I'm going to continue knitting row 1 all the way across. Just knit all the way across. I'm going to go ahead and tie the ends together once, and then when I come back, I will tie it again. Just going to go ahead and knit all the way across. Varsity Gold. April 11th, 66 Fahrenheit. I'm using a Varsity Gold. I'm just knitting to the end of row 1. Just knitting all the way to the end. Now I'm going to continue knitting row 2 all the way across. Knit all the way across. Continue knitting all the way across. April the 11th, 66 Fahrenheit. I'm using a Varsity Gold, and I'm on row 2. I'm just knitting to the end, all the way to the end. Garter knit stitch. And now I'm ready to start my new day. I'm just going to go ahead and tie my second knot at the end to secure it. All right. I am cutting off Varsity Gold. April the 12th, 61 Fahrenheit. I'm going to add on Varsity Yellow. So let's add on Varsity Yellow for row 1. Continue knitting all the way across. April the 12th. I'm going to go ahead and tie this once. Tie my ends once. When I come back, I'll tie it again. So April the 12th, we dropped again in temperature. And we're still with the yellows. So let's continue knitting all the way across. April 12th, 61 Fahrenheit, Varsity Yellow. I'm just knitting to the end of row 1. Garter knit stitch. I'm going to continue knitting row 2 all the way across. Just knit all the way across. April 12th, Varsity Yellow. So I'm just knitting April the 12th, the second row, Varsity Yellow, 61 Fahrenheit, knitting to the end. And now I'm ready to start my new day. I'm just going to go ahead and tie my knot again. Okay. We had some warmer days and then the temperature went back down to the 60s. So we still continued knitting in yellows and oranges, and this is what it looks like. So we have January, February, March, and a little bit of April. So we just finished April 7th to April the 12th, and we used yellows and orange. So that's it for now. I will be back to knit more of April another day. Thank you everyone for watching my channel. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Happy knitting, everybody. Bye for now.